What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to show you guys an indicator that you can use to get into some really profitable trades. Now, the indicator we're going to be looking at is the Frankie Candles Essentials by LuxAlgo. This is obviously the indicator that I've worked with LuxAlgo to develop, and shout out to LuxAlgo because they have done an amazing job of encompassing my trading style and incorporating it all into one easy-to-use indicator using things like the volume profile, auto divergence detection, as well as auto Fibonacci levels. And the goal of this indicator was to give it away for free to the community and help you guys better understand my trading style and kind of take some of the guesswork out of where you should be looking for divergences, etc. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. I want to talk about the overview of the indicator, as well as my custom settings and what I find works best for me, as well as how you guys can actually incorporate this into your trading strategy. And we're actually going to do a little bit of a trade breakdown to show you guys how I was able to get into a really profitable Bitcoin long that I'm in at this moment, so you guys can better understand how to use this indicator to get into your next profitable trade. So without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. We are absolutely ripping right now. So shout out to anybody holding any Bitcoin longs. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I was able to get into my Bitcoin long, enter down here at about 39,900. But first off, we got to get this indicator on the chart. So to do that, you got to go up here to the indicators tab, click it, and then you could just go ahead and type my name, Frankie Candles. And by the way, shout out to LuxAlgo. This is the coolest thing in the world, being able to search my name and see my own indicator by LuxAlgo. Coolest thing ever. But go ahead and search Frankie or Frankie Candles, and you'll see it right here. It's called Frankie Candles Essentials, and then make sure it was posted by LuxAlgo. This is the indicator that you want, and then you go ahead and click it one time. You could go ahead and click that star if you want to save it for later. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and exit out of your indicators tab, and before you click on the chart again, you'll see down here it says first anchor point for the top-down volume profile, and this is where you're going to select the first point that you're looking to pull your volume profile on. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with volume profiles or how to actually trade them, you're going to want to check the video up in the card above, because in that video, I show you guys exactly how we traditionally trade these volume profiles. So it's kind of a prerequisite before you use this indicator. But after you go watch that and come back to this video, you're going to want to select your first anchor point. So you guys can see we kind of have a little range here. Price bing bongs around here a little bit. So I'm actually going to select this little range. So I'm going to select my first point right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and move my mouse to the end of the range and click again, and then give it a second to populate. And there you go. You can see what looks like a traditional volume profile with some added little gizmos and gadgets, such as these little sauce can emojis, as well as these lines which are indicating divergences and these auto-populating Fibonacci levels. Now, before we actually jump into how I use this and how it specifically helped me enter a fire long position down here, let's go ahead and change some of our settings. You could come up here and click this little arrow to show all your indicators, and you could either click this cogwheel or you could just double click on the volume profile. It's typically what I do. But you guys can see here we have a few different settings that we can change. Now, starting off first here with candle coloring, you have two different options here. You have simple and golden pocket. Simple is just going to make your candle colors our channel colors, which are pink and blue. And then also you could change it to golden pocket, which will actually change the color of the candles based off where your golden pocket is sitting on the chart. For me, I like to keep this on none or simple just to keep things nice and clean. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep that on none for now. You could also just change your candle coloring right here if you want. And then you can see right here you have top-down volume profile. This just turns on and off your volume profile. Obviously, you're going to want this on. It's a big part of the indicator. And then down here, you kind of have some of your traditional volume profile settings. Row size, this is somewhat subjective. I like to keep this between 100 and 250. And basically, all this does is increase the number of bars that pop up on your volume profile, giving you a little bit of a higher resolution or a more granular look at the actual volume. But like I said, I like to keep mine between 100 and 250. And then width percentage is simply just going to, if you turn this up, it will simply just extend those volume bars further out. I like to keep these around 35%. And then down here, you have some of your color adjustments. You could change your up and down volume. That will just change the color of these bars. You could change these to whatever color you want. You could change the color of your POC, your value area, extremities, or your range background. And then down here, I would keep this default. I typically keep the value area percentage at either 70 or 68%, but right now I'm going to keep it on 70. And then this right here will simply extend your volume profile to the right. This is going to be most important if you're looking at previous ranges, because you guys know if you watch the channel, we like to see those ranges and extrapolate those levels to our current price action to try to predict where price will go. But in order to do that, you have to make sure that you're extended to right is taken off or unchecked. So you can actually see here our POC stops right here because our actual volume profile was pulled between these bars and these bars, right? Or candles, I should say. But if we wanted this volume profile to extend all the way out to our current candle, that's basically what this setting does. You can see if you hit extend to right, you'll see that POC will update and just automatically as the candles print, it will keep you updated and keep the volume profile on that current candle or the most recent candle printed. For me, I like to snipe those exact ranges, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for now. But there are many reasons why I would have that on. It's just situational. And then down here, you can see these are just your anchor points if you wanted to change it by typing in the date of the candle or the time of the candle you want it to go to. But obviously, just clicking and dragging these is going to be a little bit more user-friendly. But this is where the fun really begins because this indicator allows you to look for divergences amongst any indicator you like to look at. Now, for me, I have found that the best results I have gotten have been based off of the wave trend or the LuxAlgo oscillator matrix, which is a premium indicator. I do have to disclose that. But if you don't have LuxAlgo Premium, don't worry. You could use it for any free indicator as well, such as the RSI. And if you're interested in getting LuxAlgo Premium, you could check the link in the description down below to save with our discount code. And the really cool thing on these settings, guys, is if you click external, if you do not like to look at RSI, MFI, or wave trend divergences, you can click on external and come here to external oscillator, click the drop-down menu, and you can actually select any oscillator or indicator you have on your chart that you want to pull the divergences from. So if we pull up Market Cipher B, you guys know I look at this a lot for my divergences. So if we go into the settings here, you could just come down to your multi-time frame divergence, make sure this is selected on external, go to external oscillator, and you will see that Market Cipher B is sitting right here. And I like to select the light blue wave because that's what we look at for those divergences. So I would either use the LuxAlgo wave trend or I would use the custom oscillator, which for me is Market Cipher, but whatever you use, that will pop up as long as it is on your chart currently, it will pop up here. And whatever you select is where the indicator will pull your divergences from. And then another really cool feature here, guys, is you can select whether the divergences are detected off of the wicks or the bodies. This is a very, very nice feature because sometimes you will get the divergence on the wicks, but you will not get it on the bodies. In this case, you actually had it on both, but I typically like to keep this on wicks. And then you could also show hidden divergences, bullish and bearish, and then right here you can adjust the different colors of the lines that populate showing the divergences. So I like to keep the hidden divergences off the chart, and I do like to keep this selected, which is filter according to the POC, and you can see here, filter the divergences based on the top-down volume profile. So this will only really show us significant divergences that are printed outside of our value area, which if you guys follow the channel, you will know as you deviate above or below a volume profile, this is where we're looking for shorts or longs. So this will help you only get those signals when they are most important or most likely to play out. Because we know if we are deviated above the value area high and we're getting a divergence, that's why you see this sauce can print up here. It's letting you know that this could indeed be a significant top, and we could look for price to potentially come back down, get accepted into our value area, and come right back down to the value area low, which you can see actually wound up playing out perfectly right here. And then as we move down here a little bit, guys, you get to the golden pocket section. Now, this is the auto-populating fibs, and essentially, guys, this is what it sounds like, right? You have a setting right here that to change the look-back period, you guys can see that this is a short-term Fibonacci retracement. If we go ahead and change this to medium, it will pull from a earlier swing point. So you can see now it is pulling the fib from all the way down here. And if we go back into the settings, you could change it to long-term. And then this is obviously going to be pretty dependent on what you are looking at the moment. And then basically the longer term you go, the further back it will pull the Fibonacci retracement from. And you can add any fib levels you like to look for. This is not by default, but I like to look at the 786, so I simply added this. I changed the color to blue, and then I put the golden pocket, the 618, the 65, which makes up the golden pocket. And then I have the 382 and the 236 disabled because those are fib levels that I less often look at. And then down here, this is another really important setting. This will actually invert your fib. So if your fib is not looking like it's in the right place, it's likely because you have to click this invert button, and then it will simply fix itself and pull that fib that you're likely looking for. So guys, now let's jump into how you can actually use this indicator to get into really profitable trades. And then we'll jump into how I was able to jump into this very profitable Bitcoin long up about $4,000 right now using this indicator. And also shout out to BingEct for allowing their users to trade directly on the TradingView chart. If you guys are interested in signing up for that and supporting the channel, you can check the link in the description down below. But guys, looking at this indicator, I want to talk about exactly how to use it. And like I said, if you have not actually watched the volume profile video, definitely go check that out first, because you have to have an understanding of volume profiles to actually make money using this. Now, first and foremost, guys, I want to say these sauce cans are not to be treated as buy and sell signals. I know when you look at this indicator, it could be very enticing to be like, hey, well, we got a sauce can here and we went down. We got a sauce can here and we went up. And then we got a sauce can at the value area high and then we came down. This is not how you use this indicator. This is not a buy and sell indicator. Trading is simply not that easy. Yes, this is my indicator, and I am telling you it is not that easy because it's the truth, right? Now, it doesn't mean that this indicator can't help you make a ton of money, but you do not want to treat these as buy and sell signals. If you were to do that, you can see that you will likely wind up getting wrecked, because you have to take the market context into consideration when actually looking to get into the trades, right? If you were looking for a short here, sure, it would have played out a little bit, but you would have wound up absolutely getting wrecked. So just to be clear, do not use this as a buy and sell indicator. That is not its intention. These sauce cans are simply confirmation signals, letting you know that as you deviate below that volume profile, that this could indeed be a strong bottom, and it could be likely to get a return back into your value area and then fill the rest of the range up to that value area high, and in this case, potentially beyond. So for this indicator, you're going to want to trade the volume profiles as you typically do, right? You're going to wait for your deviation above the range. This is what you would look at as an overvalued asset, potentially anticipating a pullback to get accepted back into the range and return to the other end of the volume profile. Same thing for the long positions. You wait for your deviation below the range, and then you look for your confirmations, enter the trade with anticipation of flipping the value area low to support, and then riding price back up to your value area high. Simple volume profile trading. And these sauce cans will simply only print when you are getting those confirmation signals below the value area. You can see, even if you had divergences within your value area, which we did have here, if you're looking at the LuxAlgo oscillator matrix, you do have a divergence here, but it is not printing the sauce can because we are inside of the volume profile, and the most likely place for price to go is still that value area high. And that is why these sauce cans are filtered based on the deviations above or below the volume profile. Now, with any indicator, you don't just want to use one thing. You want to use multiple levels of TA to actually confirm your trades, such as key levels of support and resistance, volume profiles, divergences. This indicator just happens to incorporate 2 or 3 different types of TA, but you definitely want multiple confirmations. You don't just want to be longing based off the deviations of the volume profile or just the sauce cans or just the divergences. It's the collective agreements of multiple factors that give you that confidence to get into the trade. So let's break down how I was able to enter this position on BingX with my entry price at $39,982. You can see that right here. Now, to be fully transparent here, guys, there were other reasons I was looking to get into this long, not just based off this indicator, but I will give you the confirmations I was looking for on TradingView, but I am also looking at things such as order flow, liquidity, etc. So the more levels of confluence you can find, the better off you likely are. But we're just going to be talking in terms of this indicator right now. So simply put, guys, looking at this price action, we had found some balance inside of our volume profile with our value area highs and value area lows getting respected, giving us rejections on price to the upside as well as to the downside, right? Every time we deviate above, we go back into the range. Every time we deviate below, we come back into the range and go to the high. Now, as we were deviating below this volume profile on this most recent dip, the reason I was actually already interested in taking a long down here is, if you watch the live streams, we were actually talking about some very key levels of support down here, and they were daily naked points of control. These typically act as strong levels of support. So again, using traditional support and resistance, we're already increasing our win rate by looking for the long at key support. So price came into our zone, started to get a bounce. You could see we did get the sauce can. No, I did not enter the trade as soon as the sauce can printed, but simply put, this sauce can is letting us know that we are not only getting a divergence, but we're getting that divergence as we deviate below the range. And if you're looking at Market Cipher like I was, I'm not going to pull it up right now, but Market Cipher had money flow coming up with confirmed divergences as well. And you can see the same thing here on LuxAlgo, marked out by your gold line here, letting you know that you do have a divergence. You also have a bullish reversal signal down here, letting you know that a bounce is likely. So to be quite honest with you guys, you're at key support, you have the divergence, money flow is coming up. So you could potentially anticipate a revisit into this range at this point, get back above that value area low, low and then get a move all the way back up to the high of the range. And that would kind of be the plan for this trade if you were basing it off of these confirmations, but this is not how I entered the position. I actually entered on a retest, and this is actually a strategy using LuxAlgo Premium that I've talked about on my live stream many times. So to show you guys exactly how I entered this, we have the LuxAlgo's signals and overlays, which gives us the smart trail, which I know a lot of you guys are familiar with. You can see right here, the smart trail acts as dynamic resistance and support. So once you're below it, typically you will reject off of it and continue down. And then once you're above it, it is indicating that price is likely changing trends to the upside, and this smart trail will now likely act as support. So the way I like to use this indicator to confirm entries is to wait for two things. Number one, I like to wait for that smart trail to actually turn green or blue in this case, letting us know that the trend is likely turning to the upside. And then I also like to use the price actions concepts for one very specific reason, and that is because of the candle coloring, which changes when you get a bullish change of character, letting you know again that that trend is likely to continue to the upside. So simply put, quick little recap. We were inside of our range. We deviated below the range into a key level of support. We got the sauce cans. We got the divergences, and our smart trail has turned green. So at this point, for me to enter the trade, I am waiting for a retracement to come into the smart trail. And if we can get the fib levels to come in confluence with that smart trail, it makes it an even saucier entry. So as you can see, I turn on the auto Fibonacci levels, and this would now be the zone that I am looking to enter my trade on. I'm going to go ahead and hide these support levels so you guys can see it a little better. And let's go ahead and move price forward. So again, we got the green candles, we got the green smart trail. Now we're waiting for a retracement to enter in on a higher low. So we move price forward, and boom, we start tapping that smart trail. This is where you are looking to enter the trade, right? And it's not just this, it's all the other confluence that we were looking at earlier. Remember, you have to have multiple levels of confluence, but this would be where I am looking to enter the trade. So we'll go ahead and put a long position here. We'll set the stop loss below the low, and then we are simply going to target where? We are going to target the value area high, right? Because we are trading the value area as our base kind of blueprint for the trading plan. So this is the entry, and now we're looking to come up into this value area low, which is the next key level of resistance. And you can see here, we did wiggle around just a little bit before we eventually got up here to attack that value area low. And we are now flipping that value area low to support. As you can see, we hopped right above it, flipped it to support, and now that next target is going to be the point of control sitting right here at $42,658. So we were able to snipe that nice entry with the sauce can below, letting us know it was a significant low. And now we are simply going to see if we can get that whole range to fill, because based off the volume profile theory, that would be what we typically see play out. And then we wiggled around sideways here for a little bit, but we did not close the trade because we know that that value area high is going to act as a magnet. And sure enough, we wind up coming and hitting that final TP. And this trade is still running, guys, because we had no reason to close that trade, and we are still letting this thing run up about $3,900, and that is simply how we wound up getting that entry. So before I let you guys go, let's do a little quick recap. Number one, you pull the range. Number two, you wait for a deviation above or below the volume profile, and then you wait to see if you can get a sauce can confirmation signal letting you know that there are divergences printing below the range, and it could be a significantly good place to look for a long. And then we use LuxAlgo Premium to find that retracement into that golden pocket smart trail to get that entry and ride price back into the range. And then obviously, if we do wind up coming over to our current price action, you can see price is still running like crazy. So we wound up letting that one run into some extra profits. So with all that being said, Mafia, this was a little bit of a long one, but I really wanted to cover exactly what I like to look at on these indicators to get into these positions. And remember, if you don't have LuxAlgo Premium, that's okay. You don't have to use that exact same entry strategy that I use with the smart trail, but it absolutely slaps. So I do recommend it. And if you guys want to save money on LuxAlgo Premium, you can check the discounts in the description down below or on FrankieCandlesTrading.com. And with all that being said, go grab that free indicator, guys. We got our own indicator. Go add it to your charts, find a range, pull that volume, wait for the deviation, look for the confirmation signals, make sure you have multiple levels of confluence, and then take that shot to get into the trade and make some sweet, sweet profits. And if you guys like these trade breakdowns, whether it's using the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator or just a trade breakdown in general, let me know in the comments down below and we'll keep them coming. That's all I got for this video. See you in the next one. Frankie Candles
Here
out.
we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand.